Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The latest report from IBC is that after wide consultations, high-profile consultation, the IBC decided Raila's way. And Raila's way is the way of both digital and the manual register. Yesterday, Raila gave a statement in Kiambu and said that there will be no election if the manual register will not be accompanied by the digital register. And the IBC had a ground that they're not going to allow that register. But what I was wondering is the tender that was awarded to the grease company, the manual register was part of what the company is supposed to produce, was part of the deliverables. So the register that was going to be printed out, where was it going to be taken? And what was making it so difficult for the commission to follow the law and avail that register? Let us take, for you to get a better understanding, let us take voter X to a polling station. So when voter X walks to a polling station, first there is the process of identification. And because during registration people used all the 10 fingers, they will try all the 10 fingers to identify whether this is the person. And after the 10 fingers, he's also going to look at the face, tally whether it matches the face that they have there. Then from that point, you'll be allowed to go and vote. So that is the process. That is the first one. The second bit is they are going to use your identity card number. That is, if they try the fingerprints and it's not working for some reasons, maybe someone has gone to Shamba and spent time, and so the fingers have maybe crashes and all that, So they will use the identity card. So if they try that and it's not working, then it might be understood that the kit have a problem. So in that case, they will get a backup kit. Unlike in 2017, per ward they had 3 kits, but now in 2022 they are going to have 6 kits, 6 backup kits per ward. So I questioned on that matter. If they bring and it still can't work, then at that moment they are supposed to revert to the manual register. According to Section 44 of the Election Act and the High Court orders of 2017, there must be a complementary voter identification method. Now, according to IBC, and it is true, that the primary voters register is the digital register. However, for it to be complementary, it must have the manual one. But it seems IBC had an argument that complementary means Kim's kit to be replaced by another Kim's kit. So these are some of the latest developments that came out from that register. They should have a complementary voter register. The question that Kenyans were wondering is this: what is making it so difficult for the commission to have the digital and the manual register? Why do you think the commission was hell-bent on printing that manual register? I want to revert you back to a press briefing that was issued by Hossein Marjan, that in 2017 and 2013, the manual register was in the polling station, and they realized that there have been monkey business where the election officials can collude. Then when they realize that they look at the manual register, they realize some 1 or 2 people have not voted, they can manually cross those names and vote for these people, vote for those people. So technically, people who walked to a polling station and people who did not walk to a polling station were in a position to vote. And remember, this played out in 2017 election petition, where there are 1 million people that went and voted for the president but did not vote for the other elective positions. So these are arguments that were all on board. But I want us to get a distinction, because the general perception was that IBC was trying to bend towards William Ruto's side, or William Ruto's position. And someone can ask, why is it that when they do what Raila is saying, it's not bending against on Raila's side? The Raila's position was not more of an Azimio position, but was a position of the law. I remember during the meeting with the presidential aspirants, Paul Mwangi, who is Raila Odinga's head of legal team, was saying that according to the Supreme Court petition of 2017, election is not only on qualitative, but is not only on the quantitative, but on the quality of that election. So, according to that ruling, the manual register had to be there. The question is, what was making it so difficult? Even though now we understand that IBC seems to have changed a position. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our video. When you like our video, through that you are promoting this channel, and I normally say that is the best that you can do for us here. I have been receiving calls on what exactly is the impact of this, and there was a sense of there have been a narrative that Raila Odinga is a deep state candidate, and so Raila Odinga has inherited state machinery. How could it be that then William Ruto seems to be having a head start against him? But just from the last 2 days, the statements from Raila Odinga, before Raila mentioned about the need to have the manual register or he boycotts the election, he was talking of a relationship between Wafula Chebukati and Moses Masika Wetangula. And let me just explain something. As we are now, what IBC is doing, they have access and they are controlling everything. Even at the polling station, there is a register that will be taken there 7 days to the general election. That register, I spoke with a returning officer, I should not say from mid constituency, but from Nyeri, who was telling us that the register that will be taken to the polling station will not have the ID number. Of course, for some reasons, it will just have the names of people who are going to vote there. And keep on the wait and look at it. It will not have the names, it will not have the ID numbers of those voters, because there are avenues of manipulation, and even from there, monkey business can be done on the election day just using that. So guys, I want us to look at the role of that register and why Raila Odinga was insisting on it, that the position that now IBC has given is a position that is now against Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. The manual register is the contact interface between the political parties and the election process on the election day. Political parties and party agents cannot access what IBC is doing in the back end, because in the Kim's kit, if you remember a statement, a press briefing by Marjan or Hussein Marjan, is that IBC will have exclusive access and they will know the turnout from the Kim's kit. For them, they can trace the turnout, and maybe midday or maybe after every 3 hours, real time, they can be updating the country on the turnout. They can't be updating the country on the turnout. However, what would this mean is that politicians will not have an interface to interact with the election on the very day. Why? Someone might ask why. This will stifle what, according to me, is the operation of a parallel tallying center. A parallel tallying center will simply trace what is been happening. If you have the manual register there, you will actually know the turnout, how many people have turned out to vote on a specific day. And if the register is there, and out of 700, because per polling station there should be 700, even though we know that there are some areas that it might be less, but the maximum is 700, it can't go beyond 700. It means people will know that in Nyanza so far, we've seen 30% turnout. So you need to get to social media, get to media and activate. And it activates, or rather spur that turnout. The motive of going to take people to the polling station and bring here, because honestly this is what will most likely happen. With the manual register, the person might go there and vote, but akisha onekana huko, the person on the register will still be crossing, because if he doesn't cross, then that is what the political parties are actually used to confirm whether someone walked to a polling station and voted, or someone voted through the machine, even though the voting is manual. So that is one of the critical uses of that manual register. The manual register is in a polling station where almost kila mtu wanajua wale watu. If that person is a bodaboda person has not come to vote, he's known. If person X has been sick and is in the hospital and has not come to vote, they will know. And through that, you can carry people from the hospitals, you can carry people from the homes, you can easily coordinate with the senior members of the community to go to a polling station and vote. That is needed, because someone was wondering if this has been done in 2013 and 2017. What has changed? What has changed? What has changed? This is something that has been here with us. But then, I understand that just last month, there was this story of irregular transfer of voters. So irregular transfer of voters, according to Deputy President, it affected counties that he perceived as his strongholds. And that was done by press of a button. What happens some few days to the general election, you realize that the register is tampered with. And on the election day, 1, 2 or 3 or 4 people maybe cannot vote. It brings a commotion in the polling station and things break out. Or maybe things now cannot, it affects the streamline of voting. So I think one thing that Raila Odinga team are so keen on is the security of the database on the election day. The security of the database is very critical, because let me explain in specific here. If there have been this narrative that the IBC is divided on who is supporting Raila Odinga and who is supporting Kenya Kwanza. One thing I don't want to demystify that, because that commission those commissioners are human beings. And by then, if you listen the way some of them are speaking in media, and Chebukati should just withdraw the commissions from speaking in media, I'll try to look at that. These ones that are going for live interviews and just speaking recklessly, they're not giving a position of the commission. Some of them are making their personal statements, which that is not what Kenyans want to hear. I think Raila Odinga seems to be understanding that William Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza team have access to some elements within the commission. Maybe people who are running the software, people who are running the digital thing, and Raila Odinga team, or rather, because there is a perception that the ABC is working the commission, they don't really trust the digital infrastructure of the IEBC. That is the truth. They don't trust that digital infrastructure, and they don't trust it because IEBC is working closely with Deputy President. And that is why when this statement was released, he mentioned about the manual register after he came through with the other allegation about the printing the ballot boxes. But however, it's about following the law, because ground for nullification of elections is also active if the law is not followed. Raila Odinga's petition, that was the one of the 2017, was on this ground. And I listened to Nelson Harvey saying that the law was specific on this. So I think Raila Odinga is also keen to make sure that all the loopholes are sealed. Someone do not go to court after an election has been won, that of course this and that was not done. Ladies and gentlemen, however, the report that is coming is that the commission has decided that they are going to have that manual register. That is my bold analysis.